Hey, welcome to the Traveler's House channel. We're so glad you're here. Quick question, how have you been caffeinating recently? Let us know down in the comments, and while you're there, go ahead and hit that like button, because we know you're going to already, and subscribe if you haven't already. On to today's video. There is a lot to know about tea, and as our resident tea master, I think it's all super fascinating. Tea is the second most popular beverage in the world, second only to water. You thought it was coffee, didn't you? Here in the US, coffee is highly consumed, but around the world, tea is king. Tea has been around for thousands of, well, forever really. But the origins of tea are lost to myth, and there's some crazy origin myths. We'll get to those in another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about what tea is and some proper brewing guidelines. First things first, the scientific name for tea is Camellia sinensis. Fun fact, there are hundreds, if not thousands of kinds of tea, and it all comes from the same kind of plant, the tea plant. The leaves and the buds of tea, the plant, are what we brew to make tea, the drink. There are 5 basic kinds of tea: green, black, oolong, white, and pu'er, and a rare kind called yellow tea. So 6, I guess there's 6 kinds of tea. We're gonna talk all about the 6 kinds of teas in another video, where we take a deep dive and get even nerdier. And let's not forget herbal tea. It's not really tea, but it is tea-like. Now that we know what tea actually is, and how many kinds there are,
how do I get that goodness in me?
Glad you asked. Here are the 3 things you need to know: how much tea you're actually going to brew, how hot the water should be, and how long you need to steep the tea for. Let's break it down. So how much tea do you actually need? 1 teaspoon. No joke, real answer. Fun fact, the original use for that spoon was to measure tea. As a general rule of thumb, you need 1 teaspoon of tea for every cup of water. However, if you like your tea stronger, simply add more tea. The water temperature and steeping time are 2 things you don't want to deviate from. They'll ruin your perfect cup of tea and your day. Most people just use boiling water to steep their tea, and that's fine, but it's really only good for black, dark oolongs, pu'er, and herbal. They're tough, they can handle that kind of heat. Whereas with more delicate teas like white, green, and light oolongs will burn and become overly astringent if you use water that hot. They're best steeped at cooler temperatures around 180 degrees. Pro tip, if you don't have a thermometer and your water is already boiling, let it sit for 5 minutes and it'll be the perfect temperature. Lastly, steeping time. While each tea has its own recommendation, as a general rule of thumb, black, pu'er, and herbal teas steep for 3 to 5 minutes, whereas green, white, and oolong take 2 to 3. There are a lot of ways that tea can go wrong, and I think that this is why many people think that they don't like tea. They've never had a proper cup. Alright, now that you have the basics of making tea, no matter what you brew your tea in, you know how to brew your tea. Thanks for watching this episode. Make sure you like and subscribe to get more tea-rific content. Cheers.